The wait is finally over. After months of rumors, spy shots, and big expectations, the all-new 2027 Chevrolet Silverado is finally here. A full redesign had fans hoping for something that could shake up the half-ton truck market and put serious pressure on the Ford F-150 and Ram 1500. Instead, the first impression leaves a lot of people scratching their heads. Sure, there are some welcome upgrades, but many expected far more from such an important launch. Was this redesign really worth the wait, or did Chevrolet play it a little too safe? Let's take a closer look at why the 2027 Silverado could end up being one of the biggest disappointments in the pickup world. Fresh look. The first thing you'll notice is the styling. Chevrolet definitely didn't hold back this time. The front end is sharper, the lighting signature looks modern, and the whole truck has a more futuristic vibe. Whether you love it or hate it, one thing is certain, it grabs attention. From some angles, it even looks like a concept that somehow made it into production. That's a big compliment. Half-tonners have started looking very similar over the years, so it's nice to see Chevy taking a chance with the design instead of playing it safe. But here's the problem. A great-looking pickup doesn't haul more, tow better, or make a long day behind the wheel any easier. Once the excitement of the fresh sheet metal wears off, you're left with the things that really matter, and that's exactly where the conversation starts to change. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. Interior. The cabin of the all-new Silverado feels more refined. The multi-flex center console is one of those clever touches that actually makes daily use easier. It's practical and flexible, the kind of detail that shows someone in the design team still thinks about real-work scenarios. Higher trims push things further with premium materials and options like a panoramic sunroof, giving the truck more upscale vibe. But as expected, that level of comfort doesn't come cheap. Prices climb quickly once you start ticking boxes. One of the more interesting decisions is GM stepping away from the Ultifi software and sticking with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It feels like a cautious move, but maybe a necessary one. Building a closed ecosystem with subscriptions felt risky, especially when buyers mainly want reliability and straightforward functionality. Then there's the passenger screen. It might impress tech geeks at first glance, but Ram already explored that idea. And in a work truck it doesn't add much real value. For casual road trips, maybe it has its place, but if that's the goal, an SUV makes more sense anyway. New engines. This is where the entire story really gets serious. Silverado has been losing ground, and a big reason behind that has been the reputation of its V8 lineup. So when General Motors finally confirmed new engine options for 2027 lineup, all eyes went straight there. This was the chance to reset the narrative and calm a lot of long-running concerns. New powertrains are in, but the conversation still circles back to DFM. It's the setup that's been blamed for a lot of headaches in the past, and instead of disappearing, it's still part of the picture. Even if it's been refined, the fact that it's staying around doesn't exactly inspire full confidence. Then there's the rollout timing. Getting new 5.7 and 6.6 units ready for a major launch in a relatively short window raises questions about long-term durability. These are heavy-duty applications, and trust in that area is earned slowly, not rushed. The base engine story is still controversial. For a full-size pickup that's expected to handle real work, a Turbo 4 probably won't be a choice. The one clear bright spot is the Duramax diesel. It's still here, still doing what it does best, and it remains one of the strongest arguments in Silverado's favor, especially now with Ford, Ram, and Toyota stepping back from that playground. It almost feels like Chevrolet is guarding a ditch that others walked away from. Off-road trims. The Z71 is stepping in as the entry point. It still gives you that lifted stance, some extra protection. Then you've got the ZR2, this time more serious than before. Wider track, more aggressive hardware, proper off-road tuning. The new Bison package will add even more muscle to that image. leaning into durability and tougher terrain capability. But even with all that, there's still a gap that doesn't get filled. Silverado doesn't have that full-on monster build to go head-to-head with Raptor R or Ram TRX. Not just in terms of horsepower or specs, but in presence. That top-tier Halo truck matters because it sets the tone for the entire lineup. And by skipping that kind of extreme factory build, GM kind of sends a message. They're not ready to step into that heavyweight prestige game. Verdict. So, did the all-new Silverado live up to expectations? Partially, yes. There are clear improvements across the board. The truck feels modern, more polished. But the bigger expectation was different. A lot of fans were hoping this redesign would reset the benchmark in the half-ton world and put Silverado at the front of the pack. That's not really what happened here. Ford and Ram are still very much in control of the conversation. Silverado closes the gap in a few places, but it doesn't fully take the lead or redefine the rules of the game. In the end, it's an upgrade, just not the kind that changes the hierarchy. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.